drink?
Shit, I don't know.
Ask Freddie what that is.
Man, look, I can't even. I can't even
yeah.
drink if I got something to drink. Okay.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see what you think about it.
That came yesterday, I think. You said yesterday?
Yep.
Oh, man, you know what though? I'm surprised. There's some pretty good.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Oh, okay. I was
just telling my family.
So many good beers out there. The beer you've been seeing, I ain't never even heard. I didn't know it existed. Is there another beer world that I don't know about?
I'm in it, and I've been trying to tell you about it all these years.
Yeah, but I mean, like this. This is pretty good. This is an ale, right?
Yeah.
And then it is good too. I was surprised, you know.
You had to sample it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, tell the people what you're drinking.
I am drinking some Independence Harbor. And it's made in the United States, and I know because I can screw the top off.
let us see the bottle.
Yeah, and there's the bottle, you know.
There's the bottle, there's the bottle right there. You see it?
Yes, we do. What's happening, sis?
You okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
All right, that look good, Pops.
Yeah.
What you got, Ralph?
Look, man, I got something barely alcoholic.
Damn, that's not a good intro.
I got a Brew Doctor's kombucha, man. It got a, because kombucha got a little bit of alcohol in it, not too much. It got let's see, less than 0.5% alcohol.
Oh damn, that's barely alcohol.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's a beer out of Ann Arbor that got kombucha in it that's really good. I can't remember the name. Hey, Chris, what's the name of the beer out of Ann Arbor with the kombucha in it we love? With the kombucha, you know, that like fruity beer?
Fruity beer.
Unity Vibrations. Brother, if you like kombucha.
I heard of them.
Ah, okay. It's really good, man.
They do make good kombuchas.
Yeah. First time I ever had kombucha and beer.
Yeah, now that's an odd combination. I'm gonna try it though. I
mean, it's good.
Already bubbly. It's already bubbly, so.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, you know.
People drink kombucha.
Kombucha?
Yeah.
Kombucha?
Kombucha?
Kombucha.
What you got, Sean?
I got the freedom of speech or freedom of peach. It's sour. It's session sour. It's brewed in Chicago. Uncle Pooh might own this beer. I don't know. He was talking about Chicago beer all the time.
Who is it by?
It's by Revolution Brewing.
Revolution. Okay, yeah. They make
freedom of speech.
Yeah, I like the little fist series.
Yeah, it even talks to me because it's a light skinned fist. So, lets me know that I'm still a part of it.
Hey, man, you're still a part of the battle too, man.
You're still part of the revolution, man.
Still part of it, man. It's not letting me slide. It's an inclusive picture. Uncle Pooh, you want to hit yours up so then we can rate, because I know Ralph got a limited amount of time.
Okay, I'm drinking another Bourbon County. This one is 2018. So this one, what we on? Almost 3 years? 2 years old, right? I don't know how to add. So 14.7%. This is just the base brand stout. Yeah, so you got 0.5%. I'm 14.7. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, you turned all the way up.
Yeah, I got the rest of the alcohol, right?
Yeah, you got all the alcohol. Ain't no rest.
I like big beers.
This one's only 4.5. This is just regular.
That's gonna be harmful to you.
Yeah.
That's what?
That's gonna be hard.
Drinking that stuff is harmful to you.
Yeah.
14.5% alcohol.
14.7.
Whew.
Yeah, 14.7. Eh?
Warm your chest up. What?
Yeah.
Grandpa, give your rating, Grandpa.
Boy, man, let me show you the head on it first.
Yeah. Come on, give us the pour.
Oh, y'all out here pouring y'all drinks. That's cool.
Oh yeah.
You got to pour it straight into the bottle.
Okay.
Lift it up, Grandpa. Lift it up higher.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
There I go. Oh yeah.
There
Had to
you
be
go.
roughed up a little bit, eh?
Yeah. You got to rough it up, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, give it the rating, Grandpa. You gotta drink it.
Yeah, let me see what I got. Oh, that's what I tasted it for them yesterday.
Oh, okay.
What's your rating?
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday I gave it a pre-rating of about 5.5, and I'm coming back today with a 6. Yeah, when I go a 6, I'm into something.
Hey, if you go 6, you like it.
I like it. There you go.
We might slide to 6.5. We'll see.
Yeah.
What about you, Ralph? You the guest.
About what? Which one?
You gotta rate your beer, man.
Oh man,
One to 10.
1 to 10.
Man, I get it. Like this is a solid 1 on the beer scale. This is the 1. This is what you do when you want to pretend.
You got a whole lot of room for growth.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Look, I got y'all next.
I don't think his can make it to 5 by end of the day, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drink a case of them until they get to 5.
He said he gonna come back next week.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna next week with something better.
that is free drinking, right?
Let me try this one. I'm surprised because last time I had a sour thing, Uncle Pooh Bear had us try it in Grandpa's house, and I'm like, this isn't beer because I was on Grandpa's side. But this,
it's good, huh?
What's the name of it again?
it's like it's freedom of speech. It's kind of like, it reminds me of kombucha with like how its aftertaste is kind of fizzy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like it kind of fermented aftertaste, like you would get from kombucha. It's I give it a 6.75.
6.75. Okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's not quite a solid 7. You know.
Okay. 6.7. That ain't bad.
I'm gonna give this one an 8.
Woo.
I'm actually a little disappointed in this. It's like it's flavorful in the beginning, and I got the bourbon. Like I feel the bourbon in my chest now. You know, so Ralph, these beers are aged in bourbon barrels. So the beer is made, then it's locked in the bourbon, aged in bourbon barrels for a year. So it takes on the bourbon overtones, and that that liquor seeps into it. That's where the higher elevated ABVs come from.
Yeah.
But the problem with this one is it disappears, right? So on the front palate, I'm tasting it. I got my bourbon, I got my caramel, and all that's going down. And you taste the vanilla. I don't get the smoke or any of the charred taste. And then after I swallow, it's like nothing. Like, you know, and normally when it's a good one, you get like the other flavors come rushing after the swallow, right? So
yeah.
I just give it an 8. It's still better than regular beer, but
it's still better than regular beer.
Interest in them beer. You coming up there with 8s all the time. You know, are you partnership with one of them companies?
I wish.
He says you're not an impartial taster no more.
Well, I don't have any regular beer. Like I don't got like a 6-pack you just go crush. I got beer I've been aging for years. I told you this is a 2018. It's not 2018 because it's outdated. It's because I put it in the basement and let it age, right?
Bro, Uncle Pooh Bear, since he owned his business, he ain't a regular nigga like us anymore. He don't walk to the liquor store to get nothing.
He ain't gotta walk to the stove. He ain't gotta get nothing.
Yeah, nah, I left that life behind, man.
He don't want to be one of the people and have to go open that cold door on the way back.
Yeah, nah. Matter of fact, this beer is room temperature. You drink this room temperature. But Dad, I was telling you there's so many great beers out there, so I'm glad that we found a way to get you to start tasting some.
Yeah, these ales I ain't never heard of them. They're made in Michigan too. Hey, how about that?
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, I talked to one of your friends. Came by yesterday. Oh man,
Danny.
I think he's related to Danny. Anyway, I forgot what I was gonna say.
It happens. Wanted to
usually happen at the end of the beer, but man, at the beginning,
Not at the beginning.
I might forget some things as we get into this. Josh done got on the phone.
I mean, with that
Wait, you want to be on the
14-7, yeah, you should forget some things. That's a lot.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Oh, we got the wife jumped in.
Somebody just entered the scene.
All right.
Hey, what's happening, Ash?
Hi, guys.
What you drinking? Oh, you're not drinking nothing.
I'm drinking water because I'm studying for an exam.
All right. We'll let you try it today.
Let's get into the topic. That's why I brought my good brother Ralph on here. We were going to talk about because it's been a couple weeks now since kids went back to school. How is it being a teacher parent?
Ooh. So it's like you know how everybody make those memes where it's like they be talking about kids being bad as hell and how people really don't know what their kids be doing to their teachers.
Yeah.
It's like you finally get that firsthand. Let me tell you, like I'm on this brutal regimen because it's like, man, I work midnight, so it's like I go to work at 9 o'clock. I gotta take the kids in. They here, they sleep. I gotta get them up at 7:30. School starts at 9. Gotta make breakfast, get them dressed, get them set up, and then these laptops, man. I tell you, when you see how our Zoom meetings is right here, and it's only 4 or 5 of us. When you got like 12 kids going, that's what the house sounded like all day. My son broke his headphones. I damn near broke his neck. I was like, please. I had to give him the skull candies. Like, here go my expensive ones, bro. Please don't break them because I can't listen to you and your friends. But it's like, they've made it really easy. It's really simple. They got to incorporate it to the kids, let them learn how to, work out the computers. And they got it all on Chromebooks too. So that's what makes it even easier. Everything is set up through Google so that everything is accessible so that you really don't need to get in the way. What you need to do is sit back, monitor what your kid is, doing, and mind your business. So it's actually how did my
godson break his headphones sitting and learning in class? Like, how extreme education is this, man?
Bro, when you got a 7-year-old that can't go outside and that hasn't been outside for real, and they gotta sit down in front of a computer, you lucky they ain't broke a window. So it's like, shit. My son cut his hair off the other day. So it's like, I don't know. You tell me.
That sounds like torture for a kid.
Listen, it is torture for them. It's god awful torture because it's like they gotta sit here, they gotta be just like this all day.
How long do they gotta do it? Is it the full 8 hours?
This is the thing. They only gotta do meetings from like they gotta call and have meetings like this, like Zoom meetings at 9, then again at like 10 to like 11:30 or something like that. Then again after lunch, and then to say goodbye. The rest of it is kind of like, how it was when you had like online classes in college? It's literally just that. All your assignments are due before midnight. So you don't have to sit in front of the computer all day. Just be there for when you need to have your meetings and do your work. So it's like for kids like my daughter who's excelling at this, who's done caught on to it, and she's making me look dumb because she's like, oh, Dad, this is how you do this. I'm like, listen here, bro. I was here before you had computers. So, but they listen, man, it's easy, bro, but it's a headache. It's a pain in the ass for real because they don't go away. They just don't go away. You know how you used to have that moment, be like, yeah, my kids going to school, I can go slide. Like, you can't slide nowhere now. You got to sit at home. make sure they sitting there in your face.
So is the homework the same?
Man, homework is even easier now because, bro, for real, think about it. The aspect of homework was the fact that you had to do it at home. But if you always at home, you're just doing work. So think about it like that. The only time I think it's gonna come into a hard time, because I got little kids right now. I got a 2nd and a 3rd grader. I feel bad for like the middle schoolers and the high schoolers who got to do projects and book reports and all that kind of stuff where they got to have meetings and they got to like show their work. And it's like, how you gonna show your work on a volcano that you just built? Pick up the camera and be like this, like, look, this is my life. And it's like, it's amazing how many times I've seen kids walk around with their tablets or their computers, man, just to talk to my son about their schoolwork. Literally, imagine a kid walking around with their computer like this. Hey, yeah, no. I'm like, boy, please, if you break this, that's $200 you owe me. And he looking like, oh, I got you. My birthday just passed. And I'm like, you didn't even get $100.
And they make you pay for the laptop?
No. They gave it all the way for free. That's what made it really bad. Like in the city of Detroit, you know, and I'm gonna pass this one little bad bit to, because some parents just really trash. But the superintendent of Detroit Public Schools had to go to the pawn shop and pick up like 200 laptops because they gave them away for free, and you know, niggas.
Yeah. Yep. Parents were selling the laptops to get by and just, you know, ball outrageous shit, some giggles.
Ball out or, you know, do whatever. Because they like, you know, our kids' education don't mean anything. It's like, what's sad is like we growing up in a generation where it's like we have to raise the next generation of kids that's going to be, truthfully, they're going to be more advanced technologically, but they're going to be stunted socially so hard. It's going to be ridiculous. Like not knowing right from wrong on a social perspective is going to cause these kids to have morals that are going to be so jacked. I mean, so jacked. They don't even really know how to communicate with each other without like feeling like they need to be in each other's face like this. So imagine when they get back to being in contact with one another. I just don't look forward to it as a parent. So
I know.
Brother man had to get that stress off his chest.
Man, it's been stressful since March of this year. Y'all don't understand. My birthday, literally my birthday, my daughter's birthday was canceled, and then on top of that, they was like, "Yeah, Friday the 13th, school is over with. They just got to be at home with you." Listen,
they're yours now.
I spelled fuck so many times, and to the point my kids was like, "We know what you're spelling." I'm like, "Shut up, don't talk." Like, man, they just home, you know, just home, just in your face, in your stuff, no breaks. And it really makes you think about what you.
At you, man. I'm laughing with you.
Oh no, man, it's meant to be funny. You know what I'm saying? Because I love it. I wouldn't trade it for nothing else in the world, for real. And I'm glad I got this opportunity, you know, because I get to see what they go through on a daily basis, and I get to help guide them along further. And I don't want to be one of them bad parents that be like, your kid's just bad as hell. And it's like, well, why? Because, you know, I don't talk to them, or because I don't know what they're doing. And I'm glad that I get this opportunity, but shit, I'm tired. But yeah.
I think it's been a wild transition for so many parents. And like, obviously I'm a parent that, you know, my kid's little. I don't have to worry about school stuff, but I think it's cool seeing how involved some people are getting. But I think it's also really cool seeing how some of the teachers are approaching the learning style different. Like I know there's been a couple of teachers that have come under fire because they aren't assigning homework. They're like, you're at home, we're working in class. I'm not gonna give you extra work to do at home. Like if you're demonstrating that you're paying attention and keeping up on the Zoom call, why would I then give you something to do after? Like this is enough of a transition. And so I think it's interesting, Ralph, how you were talking about homework just being work at this point.
Yeah, because it's all the same thing, like literally. It's like I just had a conversation with my children's mother about this because I got them majority of the time. And she was like, you know, how come, you know, our son, he's in second grade. She's like, how come he doesn't have more work? And I'm like, well, because he's still getting acclimated to the computer, you know. And she's like, well, that's not really fair to have, you know, the third grader, Scarlett, my daughter, do all this work. And then for him to just kind of like, you know, have lessons about paying attention, sitting down, you know what I'm saying? Simple things, you know, learning the keyboard, stuff like that. And she's like, well, that's not really fair. And I'm like, well, think about it. The age difference isn't really fair. You can't really sit here and expect a second grader to be like, here, bust out, you know, 15 questions and 45, you know, math problems and turn it in by the end of the day without getting extra assistance from their parents. So it's like, they got to learn the system first. And I don't agree. I totally agree with them not giving them homework right now because why you need more work? Why? It make no sense. They already at home, not working. I mean,
that extra homework falls the responsibility of the parents who are working from home, teaching their kids, and now they got to do more work at home with their kids while trying to catch up on their work that pays for the bills.
Shouldn't, man. It's a pain, but you know, it's all a process. It's all we all gotta do when it comes. That's the way I look at it.
Somebody commented saying, you know, Rob, somebody from my high school, Angel, said, the kids will be all right. We learned to adjust to 9/11. They'll adjust to COVID. In my opinion, cancel school, LOL. Is it really that important? We adults are just trying to survive and not get sick.
Hey, man, how many typos did she have in there? That's all I got.
I don't think she got any typos, man.
Then that's good then, because they don't need no school. I think they need school for sure, though. They definitely need school. Because these kids, they minds is so quick, it's so fast, it's way quicker than we understood anything. And if they don't have any structure, bro, they're gonna be blobs of just minding pointless information. My kids can talk to the phone and type me out a paragraph via text, but can't tell me how, to spell, clock or alphabet, or hard level words like that. Where it's like, I remember being in third grade doing spelling bees. They in the third grade learning YouTube. It's like it's a different world, but they still need some structure. They still need to know basics.
I agree. They
Like,
definitely need structure. I
school.
don't know. I ain't been in the classroom in so long, so I ain't really got a clue of what's happening there.
I think
it's a different world to show, but they still need to know some basics.
Yeah, I think structure, like even if the method of delivery is changing, like structure is still key. Even if you're not having them sit and memorize words and that all the time, you can still teach them lessons like, hey, let's do a quick science class in the kitchen. Like we're going to bake this stuff. We're going to show how baking soda and flour and eggs and leavening agent, how all of that comes together and how it works. Like turn everyday things into a lesson. Like I'm teaching Sebastian how to garden. He can't carry much, but he does know that like his, the veggies that mommy and daddy give him at dinner, he can go outside and get them. And, after I taught him not to eat dirt and bite into tomatoes while they're still on the vine, that's been a really cool lesson to watch a little kid learn. Like, so I think it's important to add in that experiential part of learning too, and teach kind of the whole child, as opposed to just being like, oh no, what's going to happen if they don't have homework and if they're not, staring at the teacher and the board all day.
Well, like even you saying, talk about take them into the kitchen and, whip up some eggs and all this. Well, you still got size and measurement and mathematics and, percentages and all of that good stuff is going in there. I think the important thing to remember here is that education doesn't only happen in school. It doesn't only happen during school time. Like there's so many more opportunities to educate the child. Like you could travel, like take them out into the community and go learn and see things, navigate, learn directions. Like all of that is really important.
We started gym class with our son. Like he watched me the other day doing squats and sit-ups, and he did squats with me, and then he tried to do like a squat and a leg kick, and it's adorable. And that's something that he's learned because mommy and daddy are home and mommy and daddy are stretching and working out, and try to remember that like just because you're stuck at home doesn't mean you're stuck on the couch. And like I think, it's key. Like education does not just happen in school buildings or with teachers. There's so many ways to educate kids and adults alike, like spending time learning new stuff on our own even.
I got another response saying I got a 1, a 5, and a 12-year-old. One is autistic and I work 40 hours from home. And saying it's a difference between structure and requiring a 5-year-old and autistic daughter to sit on a computer for 6 to 8 hours. That's tough.
Yes.
What what's interesting is I have a lot of these conversations with homeschooling parents. And homeschooling parents are saying that daily instructional time should last anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. Yeah. And like 4 hours is on the long end of that. Like it's probably just be 2 or 3 hours, but because when they're coaching other parents, they're telling them, don't just try to make it school at home. Like, you don't need 6 to 8 hours, you know what I'm saying? Like you just got to have a focused 2 or 3 hours. So maybe something like, I don't know, but if you're dealing with the school system, that's different. But,
well, speaking of the school systems, I got one that says here in Georgia, they are sending truancy officers to homes for kids participating. Mind you, I live in a neighborhood where 80% of the kids are low income and everyone doesn't have Wi-Fi or computer. So if you're not on your computer or Wi-Fi, them folks coming for you in Georgia.
That's crazy.
That's wild. That's absolutely crazy.
Like that sounds very Georgia. Gonna be like, don't get me wrong, like I love living in the South, but that sounds hella Georgia.
That sounds Georgia. Georgia, Mississippi-ish.
Yeah,
that's ugly.
Yeah.
Dang, man. So if your kid's not even your kid got to be active on the computer, or they sending the cops to your house?
But that's one of the other things that makes like me especially want to push for reform, that like internet is not a luxury. That is not a extra utility that you should have to purchase and do the verifying, like the varying speeds. Like I think there needs to be a certain set of internet that everyone has access to. And of course you can buy, you can buy your different tiers and stuff, but like there needs to be a base minimum because we can't live without it now. Like, of course you can entertain yourself and do stuff, but in a world where we all communicate remotely and from around the world, it's all fun and good to be like, oh, today I didn't watch any TV or I didn't use the internet. We read books. Cool, great. But those kids, especially kids that are at home, need to be able to communicate. Teachers need to communicate. Parents need to communicate. Parents need to work. Like, we really need to change the conversation around that and take internet from being like a luxury to being it's a staple that needs to be made affordable. And I think there's been good headway on that, but I feel like it kind of gets overlooked.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I saw just yesterday someone I know posted. She got like 2 kids at home, and she had posted that the teacher, they could see into wherever the kids are room. She was saying that she could see or hear their younger sibling, and that they should move to a different room or something, and that it's not like something about they're going to get in trouble. Like, she didn't talk to the parents. She sent that to the little kid, saying they should do this.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of problems that come out of this. I think that all of this highlights a couple of things. It highlights the wealth inequality, because people who are financially secure and set, particularly if one parent isn't working, because they don't have to, because there's enough money or assets in the home to bring it in, they're not feeling as stressed as somebody who everybody in the house is working full time, whether that's out of the house or in, you know what I mean? Like, and then like you talk about the who has access to the internet. There are a lot of lower income people who just ain't got it. So like, what are they gonna do? Like, it's a nasty situation, man. I feel bad for all of y'all, my baby's 17, so and he graduated.
Them young kid problems.
yeah, them young kids problem. That's my dad on the sideline. He like, oh man, this y'all battle.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up. See, I'm thinking in terms of the 30s and 2020. When if you wanted to read something, you had to go down to the library, and get a book. There was no intercommunicate, no television, nothing like that, And at that particular time, home learning, if schools were closed, they were closed. You just closed out, period. And there's no chance of you getting any type of education, because you had nothing at home at the time back in the 30s,
Pops, did y'all have encyclopedias?
Encyclopedias at the library.
At the library, because they was so expensive.
Now, when you want to spell a word, you just get on your telephone and it'll spell it right for you when you make a mistake, Yeah, there you go. But no, we had them at the library. Everything was at the library. We didn't have no books on the shelves. Like I'm looking behind Josh here there, and he see all his books,
Right. I got
this is a new age, so I'm learning. So y'all keep on talking, because I'm getting an education myself now.
Yeah. I just wonder, like, I always wonder, like, from your perspective, like, what do you think about all of this? It's probably just a little, you ain't had no babies in the house running around trying to learn in a long time anyway, so.
Yeah. Well, this information now is so easy to come by, And I'm messed up just trying to figure out what I'm gonna turn on the television or the laptop or my iPhone or what have you. The watch, It got me all messed up trying to figure out how to operate this stuff, It's been a change for me. And I ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, especially if Elon Musk get a chance to show us everything that he got on his mind, right?
Yeah.
He be coming far out every time.
Yeah, I'm not going to drift too far, but Doc, when we were talking the other day about Big Ten championships,
yeah,
and you were thinking I was talking about national championships, right? When you think about the Magic Johnson and them,
yeah,
No, I was talking about the Big Ten champions, 1989 and 90.
Oh yeah,
State.
Well,
That's what I was telling you about. Had all the hours. You was there, Freddie. You recall being up there in Michigan State at the field house? I believe it was yours.
Not in Michigan State. That would have been Sean. Sean was there.
No, I don't mean going there.
Oh.
You was in elementary school, 1990. How old are you, see?
I'd have been in 9th grade.
Okay, no, we were up there to Michigan State, you know. Michael Hubbard they played an all-star game between Michigan and Michigan State. That's what I was.
Yeah.
Okay. You know. But he thought I was talking about national championship back in the days of Magic Johnson, you know. This was a Big Ten championship, 1989 and 90.
Oh, nice.
Grandpa was holding that in. He was telling me he was trying to convince me on it. I was like,
yeah, we was on two different tracks. I'm talking about Big Ten championship, and you was talking about national championship. You say, no, him in with two.
But no, I mean, I think Grandpa was talking about you got to go to the library. Like, I don't even know if there's a library in Inkster anymore.
Oh, like, there is. It's being remodeled right now.
We got a brand new one now.
Okay.
Yeah, they built the one right behind the fire department.
Okay.
Oh, we moved on.
I remember it being
behind the old city hall. They haven't used that. They were using the storefront for a while until we got this new library coming up.
It looks like this.
Wow. Is that Inkster?
Yeah, it's from the Inkster Chamber of Commerce. That's what the new library was supposed to look like when it was completed. This was the original design that they had.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Inkster. Oh, you got a 2020 calendar. Yeah.
Yep. I get one every year.
Okay.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's interesting that they would pour all that money into a library and they don't got a high school or a police force. Like, what's that point?
We don't have a police force?
I thought they were gone. Didn't they like dismantle the police force and the state took over or something?
No, we got a brand new district court and the police force still there. Now, I don't know, maybe they might be merged in with Dearborn Heights or something, but I keep seeing the Inkster police, you know.
That's what I thought. I thought they merged another city.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're trying to get rid of Inkster.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. You know, like you said, they got rid of the whole school system. Everybody now, you know, district and cross district, you go where your money can take you, you know.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Kids used to come to Robichaud from Detroit, you know, they take their tax money and bring it up to Robichaud, you know.
Robichaud used to be
a lot of schools probably went hurting, you know, because when a student don't want to go there, then you got less enrollment, gonna be less money, you know.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that. In fact, I don't dislike it. I hate it. I think it's cool individually. Like you're like, oh, well, this school in my district sucks, you know, so I can go over here and go to a better school. That's cool for people who got mobility. But like, what happens to our families that are trapped in these areas and all the money leaves their school, but they don't have mobility and choice? So now, like, what's gonna happen to them? Like, it's just, I hate it. I think Betsy DeVos, that's she's the nasty blight of Michigan is her.
She put in there to destroy the school system.
She did a great damn job, and she's working on it nationally now. And she's doing a bang up job there, destroying everything as well.
I mean, like, I know that I'm obviously preaching to the choir, but like, there's no reason why a racist system set up where property tax and money dictate how well your school is funded and then dictates how your students go. Like, there's no reason why now, when we've seen systematically that it doesn't work, that it oftentimes leads to more problems as opposed to those, you know, bubble of successes. Like, it leads to more issues down the road, and it's bad for a community overall, and not just a community, but take it from a community level, it's bad from a state level and then eventually a national level, because it's a cycle that keeps people in those areas, keeps them undereducated, and I guess maybe it fuels a part of the workforce, you know, because, you know, they're trapped and they only have that option. But it's a system that should be.
It fuels the prison system.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, they know that.
Yeah, and that's why, like, there we go. That answered my question. That's why, like, no one's tried to change it. Like, it makes a lot of money for groups of people. Like, so, but it's frustrating to see that. And Josh talks about it all the time, where he'll tell me Like, that's why I want to support, the public schools and stuff, because like you got to put the money, you got to have the students attend. And part of me is like, yeah, I agree, but not my baby. Like, let's get.
But not my baby. They baby need to go.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, but now I'm the person that I'm literally being like, don't be that person. But I'm like, but my baby gonna go to private school.
Man, I don't know. I don't know what the solution is.
I don't think if I'm already paying, to me it doesn't make sense. If I'm already paying taxes in the area, I'm not paying for school because my school already got paid for.
That is the exact reason our children never went to private school, because everyone was like, "Oh, your baby needs." Like, I remember when Jael was little, right? Like, he's off the charts and all of that. Your son needs to go to the lab school. He needs to go to the lab school. He needs to go to the lab school. This is kindergarten, right? I'm like, all right, let's take a look at this lab school they talking about. Don't you know this damn school? Now, this was 2004, 2005, somewhere back then. It was $25,000 for kindergarten. And I wish I was exaggerating. Like, whoever don't Google, you Google it. The Chicago lab school cost a kindergarten. Like, I don't know what it is now. It was $25K then. This is the school that feeds into the University of Chicago. And if you go to this school, the lab school from K through 12, you can go to the University of Chicago for free.
Because you already paid for it.
Shoot, you
paid for it 12 times. Yeah. That's the least y'all can do is let them go for free. Like, good Lord. Like, somebody got that type of money. Like, somebody's paying for 4 kids to go, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, that is insane to me. Kindergarten, like your ABC is better than my ABC.
That was one of the things my parents always argued, because all of us girls, me and my 2 younger sisters, we went to private school from the time that we were young. I started out in public school, but then we were all Montessori kids. And then we switched over to, me and one sister went to a Catholic private school. The other sister went to a non-religious private school. And we all had these like wild tuitions, wild experiences. And it was super cool because we got some experiences, but like, I didn't know math better than, say, Sean. Like, when I got to college, like, Sean probably was much better at math than I was in college, because like, I was like, I'm gonna focus on this other stuff. Like, we're spending all this money. So you're giving me a chance to go study in the Dominican Republic for 2 weeks and like, look at the like historical racism.
Not just making hot dog garlic bread in the kitchen.
Hey man, I believe that sometimes you gotta get creative. We had hot dogs, we had butter, we had garlic, we had spaghetti. You wanted garlic bread? I made it happen. Okay. So,
I mean, but private schools are cool and all of that, because I mean, ultimately what they're people doing is paying for socialization. So they're paying to be inside of a group of people that are like your economic group, right? Like, rich people don't want their children around poor kids because, you know, they gonna think down and they might get robbed, right? At least that's what the thinking is. But you wanna create your social circle, right? So later in life, people who attended these schools tend to ascend to the higher levels of at least the economic ladder, and you want your children to gravitate in those circles. So I believe, my opinion, why they pay for it early. I just didn't buy into it, I guess.
It's very much.
And we was broke. There was that other thing. We was broke. I forgot about that part.
I mean, but that's very much true though, because like I know we were private school kids. We still did stuff with non-private school kids, but like we were private school kids. We were in Jack and Jill. We were very much around other Black kids whose parents also had a certain level of affluence, so that, you know, we could interact, because it was kind of weird.
That's how you know you're around affluence, when they use the word affluence.
Hey man.
You see, I was like, people just got money. They just want to be around other people with money. It's like affluence, Freddie. That's the word that you're looking for. Oh,
it's Colander and Spigot all over again. Au pair. The au pair conversation.
The last 4 years of your high school education sent me to the poorhouse because you were amongst the affluent, you know. You know. Because you were telling me about, you went by some of the people's houses, you thought that was the house where they lived in, that was the gatekeeper's house.
Yeah.
You drive another mile up the road to get to the big house.
Until you get to the real house. I didn't know people lived like that. I thought that only happened in movies. I thought that was movies, man. But it was an education in itself, right? Because you get out of the hood and you get to see, you're like,
right, what the world's all about. You know?
Like, oh my God, like, wait a minute, what your daddy do? Like, what your mama doing? Like, they own a business. People own businesses for real. Like,
Yeah.
I remember being dumbfounded. But so it's good to, you know, get out of your bubble and get to see other things. Because I definitely got to dreaming big after that. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I think kids can dream big for free. If
it costs you to dream big.
All I know is me and my wife got to the same place. That's ultimately what's important.
So we could just save that money, right?
I mean, like I'm a low-key firm believer in survival of the fittest. If our son is going to be anything, it's not going to matter. I don't got to spend $25,000 for him to go to preschool. He just going to be.
What's his mentality about it? You a winner, son. If you're a winner, you're gonna win.
You gotta throw him into the do like my dad did. Throw him in the pool and see if he swims. You know.
Yeah. Look, hey, he need a little hood in him anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta mix it up.
You need a little. I think it's good for you.
That was why Dad took me out of private school. I was hanging around Hendrix, and he was talking with Hank, and he heard us talking, and Hendrix was like, "What's up, cuz?" And I looked up, and I was like, where you looking at?" And he was just like, I said, "What's up?" I was just like, "Yeah." I looked up again, and my dad was like, "Oh yeah, he gotta be." And my dad was like, "Oh yeah, you gotta be around your own people, man."
Yeah. It's time to go get some Inkster schooling, man.
Yep. Gotta mix it up.
Because you know, Dad, the first thing he thought about, he was like, I'm paying all this money for my son to be a sucker.
You know, he broke out the calculator and started doing the calculations. Like, this don't work out quite way.
No, it's not working.
Yeah.
He's like, he got 5 years in public school, a private school. That's enough. He'll get everything else he needs.
I do think that like a private school base, like going like for that underage, like usually it's a little bit less expensive when they're younger, but like if you get them that good foundation, then I definitely
look at Grandpa's face. Look how disgusted he is. He's like, bam.
I was thinking about I was carrying a meal out in a middle class white neighborhood, you know, and I was coming down the street and some guys were doing some construction work, you know, and they threw some slang on me. I forget what the words were, which you would know if you were in the hood right at that particular time, right? And I asked the guy, what did you say, man? He said, "Bro, you've been out here too long, you know, you got to come back to the people."
I think it's important. I think it's important. I wish, like looking back at my college, obviously I don't want to change anything in my lifetime, right? Except for maybe some of the dumb things I've done, but that's another conversation.
Yeah.
But I kind of wish I would have went to an HBCU, you know, and like really had that Black educational experience, because we grew up in Inkster, you know, we was bused to Taylor schools in our thing. So there was Black people there. It might've been 30% in Taylor. I don't know, 25, 30%. And then Catholic Central, you know, was all white. And then, you know, PWI Carbondale was pretty much just all white. So I just kind of wish I might have had a little bit of that HBCU experience. I just meet people now that had it and they love their school like something I've never seen before. It's like, man, people feel like that about a school, you know? Like, I don't know. It just seemed like they had so much camaraderie and pride in what they're doing. I think it's pretty cool. I ain't going back to school or nothing, but
I think
we done with that.
I think a lot of it is. I was telling I told these people a few times. It was something the comedian said, talking about like college for people who need to be placed. Like, remember I said this before. We were on Uncle Hank's house, Uncle Pooh. I was just like, if you got talent, you don't even need to go to college. You know what I mean? Like, if I was talented, I wouldn't have had to go to college, because it's just like the lie. There is a lie that you have to go to school to be successful. It's outliers, but I mean, I know people. We all know people who got degrees who have nothing to do with what they do right now. So they just if they weren't
90% of them.
If they weren't lucky enough to get like a full ride, you just in debt just to make your parents feel good about you.
Yeah.
I know my dad, when we chose to go to when we were looking at colleges, I think I'm the first kid he offered this deal. And part of me wonders if I should have taken it. But he said, listen, I'll give you your first year's college tuition, cash money. You can have it right now. What you'll do is you'll invest in real estate. You'll buy properties and you'll spend the first year managing those properties. All the money you bring back in for those, that's your money. You can do whatever you want with it. You can use those properties to pay for your tuition down the way. You can do whatever you want. But he's like, I'm going to give you this cash right now. And that's what you do. He's like, or you can go to college. I'll pay for college. He's like, you won't have to worry about any of that. But I'm only offering this deal once. And he's like, at the end of college, you'll go, you'll find your job, you'll get, whatever gift we give you, and that's it. And I chose college because it was safe. That's what everyone had told me my whole life. You also can't tell a kid their whole life they're going to college. And then when they're going to college, be like, or here's this money. And I look back now and wonder, would it have given me a better, more hustler mentality and more a different type of work ethic if I had taken that cash and that first year done that, as opposed to now where we're looking more into rental property and trying to do cool stuff like that and being like, well, how do you get the capital? It's like, should I have done that back then? And I hope to be able to offer our son that one day too, but like.
Let's switch to this a little bit real quick, because I've actually been talking to my boys about it and something I wish I would have known. I just thought I'm in a, I don't even know what to call it, a syndicate, where we all investing together. We've been pooling money every month.
Syndicate is a crime organization. You might want to change that.
Well, listen.
It's not necessarily crime.
It's not necessarily crime, and we're not necessarily good. So let's. But so we've been studying commercial real estate. This is my thing, right? So I was reading this book, and this guy was like, "Man, I wanted to get into real estate." Actually, your story reminded me of this. But the guy was like, I worked this pretty good job. I got an accounting job, got a family, wife, all that. And I want to get into real estate investing. And he met up with somebody who started talking to him about commercial real estate. It was like, man, look, you need to buy apartment units, right? Buy buildings, right? And the guy, long story short, the guy first deal, he buys a 45 unit building and quits his job the next day. Because the 45 unit building is cash flowing $8,000-9,000. I forgot how many years ago this was, like maybe late 90s or something like that. $8,000-9,000 a month in free cash flow. So once he owned the building, he had enough to pay all of his bills and live his life, and he was good. So he quit his job like the next day. And then obviously, well, he wrote the book. So he went on to build a commercial real estate empire. But I was like, damn, your first purchase is 45 units. And inside the discussion, they say the thing about commercial real estate you don't think about being a normal person is the bank doesn't have to lend you the money. They're lending the property the money because the property is cash flowing. Yeah. So all those units are income. So when you go to apply, it's not just your money and what you got. It's, okay, if you're going to buy this, okay, as long as you stay 60% occupied, it's going to pay for it. So worst case scenario, we got to get you out. We won't have to pay any money, and then we can sell off the asset. We're safe. The bank they're like lending more freely on commercial real estate. Yep. Residential, which is 4 units or less is residential, right? 5 units or more is commercial. So if you got a 7-unit apartment building, that's a commercial property. And all 7 units are assumed to be rented. So when you go in, that's a part of your income right in the door. So I just said that for you guys to check out. I'll forward you that ebook that I'm reading, and it got like a formula for analyzing property. And you should go out and grab this like ASAP if y'all are serious. The Millionaire Real Estate Investor by Gary Keller. He's one of the guys behind Keller Williams. Stupid.
I think as I recall, you introduced me to commercial real estate and told me the difference between commercial real estate and residential real estate when you were appraising,
Right.
And you took me into another world of that commercial real estate where the money was at,
The money was at.
Yeah.
I wish I would have, when I was appraising, I was meeting these guys that was buying commercial real estate. I was hanging out and drinking beers. And I never really, they used to invite me to different stuff and I would never go. I'm so upset with myself. You know, like I should have went and listened and learned. And they could have been like, Freddie, you're a pretty smart guy, man. Stop doing dumb things. Like buy this 12-unit building. They're going to give it to you. And you could just quit that appraisal stuff. like I just wish one of them would have just grabbed me and shook me. Like, man, it don't make no damn sense what you're doing, right?
The gambler DNA inside me is making me think there's some commercial real estate in Detroit right now.
There is.
Down there.
There's a lot of it, man. It's a lot of opportunity. But here's the thing, because we've been watching the market now pretty closely, right? So we can talk offline. I'll tell y'all some details about what we're doing. It's pretty damn exciting.
No more free game in the seminar, y'all.
No, yeah. No more free game. No, that was it. But But I do believe that the commercial real estate market is about to crash. It's crashing, actually. Actually, in January was the sign, and the sign was Carl Icahn. Y'all know who Carl Icahn is? He's like the CEO or something behind like Chase Bank and all that. Like one of these big Wall Street guys in financial section in the banking. And he started shorting commercial real estate in January 2020. He started in January 2020. He's still shorting commercial real estate, and like it's going like this, right? So anyway, I just said that because I think there's about to be a lot of opportunities.
When do you know when
cash and investment?
You know, commercial real estate. You know, you say it's going down.
Yeah.
Have you in a commercial real estate? When do you know to sell off or whatever?
I mean, I don't know. If you had the crystal ball, you could always win. But I just don't want us to buy now in the teeth of the decline. But at some point, while it's going down, we're gonna have to buy. Right. And then it's it's gonna turn up at some point. And like if it just keeps going down, America's gonna die out as a country. So it's not gonna go to zero. I mean, it can't. If it does, again, the country is over. But America would just formulate its army and go bomb somebody and steal assets and resources like they always do.
That is our favorite thing to do.
That is our favorite thing to do. So it's almost like America's bully attitude is almost like a hedge against, totally losing it in real estate.
Colonization.
Get profitable.
Colonization under the face of liberation, as it were.
Colonization is the face of liberation. Yeah.
That's right, baby.
Yeah. But yeah, check out commercial real estate. I don't know how we got all the way there.
You done said something to me, Uncle Pussy. Now I'm about to try to sweet talk my wife into making a wild idea.
Well, let me forward you this book first. It's a quick read, probably take you about 30 minutes or something, but good insight on how to analyze commercial property. I'll give you the formula for, figuring out cap rate, all this stuff.
You got the audio book or is it a solid book?
No, it's like an ebook.
Read the book. I'll read the book, honey, and I'll audio book it to you.
I mean, you can like literally it's gonna take you about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm a slow reader and it took me that long.
I'll knock it out. I'll knock it out while I make dinner one night, dear.
And you give him the notes.
So, I'll be getting that information.
I got another book for you that I think as y'all build your empire, then check this one out. So buy then build. Check this out. This is what's interesting. Because the majority of entrepreneurs, we want to go out and build our own enterprise. I'm a big man. I built this business. Look at this. This is so great. Well, what a lot of intelligent people do is they just go buy the damn business and then they build it. And then, they add to it, tweak it, this, and that, and then they sell it. Now, here's where this book gets super interesting. The baby boomers are retiring. And if you know entrepreneurs, their children don't want their damn business. Right. So they got to sell it. So baby boomers they own damn near not all, but the majority of businesses in the country anyway is owned by baby boomers. And they're all coming of age that they're selling, they're divesting, they're getting rid of it. So there's like a fire sale going on for businesses and people don't have money right now. So it's not a lot of buyers. So you literally can buy a business, owner finance, meaning you don't got to put no money up. You just take on a note and pay the seller X amount of dollars, If you tweak their things, update their systems, bring them online, start online marketing, you can ramp up the revenue and then sell it and give them their cut, and you make money and disappear, right? And you can do this over and over and over again. Think about like embroidery businesses, right? We laugh at embroidery business. These are $1 million companies.
Embroidery is fantastic.
Fantastic business. It's a steady clientele. It's all over the place. There are literally thousands of them all around the country for sale. Like right now.
I have friends.
This is a great read.
I have friends that like when it comes to embroidery stuff, like because everyone my age now wants like the shishi frou frou monograms and the hand towels. Like there's a very specific group. I have a friend who spent, I think, $50 per hand towel, and those were like the cheap hand towels. And I was like, girl, just because they got your initials embroidered on, and then part of me was like, but let me not play. I too have been tempted to spend that extra money on monogram thing that adds a touch of class. It gives you that old money feel. If you nuevo rich, nuevo. I meant to say nouveau, but you get where I was going with that.
Yeah.
Like
that's that. You're in that old pair language.
It makes you feel fancy, like you get to do, and like, yeah. I'm gonna look at a couple of embroidery businesses now because I'm tired of doing my stuff by hand too.
Yeah, I had this jacket embroidered, and that's what really made me start thinking about it. And some old white guy, they're sitting in there, they just in there making money. They just in there making money.
In fairness, as a person though who embroiders, like I would happily fork over an aggressive amount of cash for some of the designs. Like I've stopped embroidering now, and I started picking it back up to kind of like redo my skill so that while I have time, like I can make cool
you can do it.
Stuff. Yeah, I can do it. But
the jacket I bought you for Christmas that one year.
That's not embroidered, but that is super cool and custom. But like
embroidery is then. I thought it was embroidered.
Embroidery is basically artwork done with needle and thread. Like so there are machines that'll do it. The machines cost you upward of $1,900. They're not cheap machines, but like it is something that has been done.
You're like familiar.
Oh, I used to love embroidery. Like I've got like the embroidery hoops. I've got my different needles. I've got my thread. Like I used to
excited she is.
Love it. I used to like love it. Like I was practicing a satin stitch the other day, and I was like, oh, I have no clue what I'm doing anymore. Like I really have to get back into it. But like, oh, it's amazing.
You want to help finance any of my ideas?
Hey man, check that book out though. Buy Then Build. I think it'll give y'all some. Yeah, and then chat with your dad about it. I bet
we could buy
I know he got insight.
Brewery downtown.
Yeah, I mean it's an opportunity everywhere, man.
Grandpa's like, I'm out the game, y'all. I'm just in my house.
Yeah.
Look, we ain't buying no brewery because then next thing I know, I got the whole family in the brewery just drinking. Like,
yeah. Got that whole Taylor family down there, like, well, we on the brewery, so we had to come down here and check out the merchandise.
You can't get high off your own supply, okay? That's the first rule.
One day, next week we gotta sell it because we in the red. Right.
That's funny.
We gotta wrap up the show. I gotta probably get back into work. But next week we'll have another guest. She works for she works in the Child Protective Services side of the game. So hopefully she'll be able to come on. And I don't know whoever wants to come on here. So, Grandpa, what's your final thought? Oh, we got to do guests first. Ashley, what's your final thought?
Final thought is that this is delightful, and I'm going to have to engage with adults more often instead of, toddlers.
Good luck. You might be on that Tyler game for a long time.
For a while.
At least another. Well, is this the only baby?
No.
Uh-oh.
But we got to buy another house and some commercial real estate first, apparently, before the next baby. So.
All right. I was just checking.
There's more. There'll be more.
What's your final thought?
Making money. I've gotten beyond making money now. So I switched over to heritage. I got the Henry Louis Gates, this gigantic encyclopedia over here. And so instead of me trying to make money, which too late to try to make some money, I'm trying to find out where I came from.
You got all the money already anyway.
All right.
You got all the money already.
You talk about commercials. I ain't got no money. I got the peanut shells, you know. When somebody eats the peanuts, I got the peanut shells. But the money is, and like you were saying, that commercial real estate, there's 1,000 ways to get rich, a millionaire, you know. When you get too old, you forget about that because, you know, if you make the money, you ain't going to be able to spend it.
Well, you can have a hell of a year or two, though.
Big fun.
You can go for it now. Yeah. Nah, this was a good conversation. I appreciate all of it, though. I don't know how I stretched this all the way over here in commercial real estate, but it was a good start with.
I say it was interesting. You kind of introduced me to making money. This was a few years back too, on commercial real estate, and I didn't even know much of a difference between residential and commercial real estate. You know.
Yeah.
I see right now a lot of millionaires come out of that commercial real estate.
They really do, man. Yeah. They really do. And you talk about heritage and legacy, you know, so like we just got to start putting these things together so that we can leave that to the next generation. Yeah, you might not want to run the business, but hey, here's the trust that is set up to make sure that we're all, you know, going to be good. Now, you're going to be a steward of the trust. You're not going to raid the trust, right? We're going to write it up to make sure that that can't happen in the first place.
Yeah.
But yeah, generational wealth, right? Legacy and heritage and finding out who we are and all of that is part of that. And then hopefully having an opportunity to not have to deal with COVID homeschool teaching because
yes,
we are affluent and we got options, right?
That is the goal.
Using my words.
My sign off is, you know, when you're really affluent, when people make fun of you for your wealth and you just laugh at them.
Peasants.
And Matt laughed too.
Peasants. I'm practicing. I want to get used to it.
You know what? Actually, a couple times ago when we went to Inkster, there's actually a Denby project. That's what Saigon is. The Saigon is actually called the Denby Project. That's the real name.
Really?
Yeah, her family done invaded Inkster years ago.
No relation. No relation. My people don't claim that.
That's why she got the calendar early.
Oh yeah.
Inkster thanks me for my service every year.
We're gonna give you this calendar. That's hilarious.
I probably would have one too if my wife was still living, because she made sure Inkster gave us a calendar.
I'll call the president of the Chamber of Commerce. I've got her number.
Is the calendar out yet? Give me my calendar.
Hey, you got the president's number for real?
Yeah.
Oh,
of the Inkster Chamber of Commerce. Yeah.
Oh, we got to talk offline. I got an idea.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
Me and Martha.
That's big. I got an idea.
We don't throw people's names out here. Okay.
Might be. I did first name only, but like you can easily Google the president's name.
We're sign off now before we get All right, love you guys.
All right, bye y'all. Love y'all.
Peace.